2023. Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending into fourth dimensional collective consciousness. Azor,
Grand Rising Captain.
can you give me the update on third dimensional planet Gaia?
Yes, Christo, with pleasure. Gaia 3D currently is under critical condition. It seems there is a large amount of humans that have forgotten who they are, causing confusion, division and war driven by fear.
Thank you, Azor. Before we head down to Gaia, can you give me any information about the 3D world, as it's been a while since I've been there?
Sure, the 3D Gaia. We will face much resistance from negative polarity beings as a dual plane. Karma and Dharma are in effect. There is free will. It will be wise to protect our energy and hold love.
Alright, thank you, Azor. Sounds like we have quite the task at our hands. But that's why we're here, and that's why we've been called upon in the Galactic Federation to go down to planet Gaia, the 3D realm. Alright, Azor, let's get ourselves ready to go. Let's hit the time portal and make sure we land in the present day, Mother Gaia, third dimension. Hello, and welcome. Grand day. It's Captain Christolight here with your fresh Galactic Guidance Report. I am tuning in from South Dakota, as it has been a wonderful journey exploring the Northwest after following a Lionsgate activation at the Frequency Flow Fest in Minnesota. I had the honor of teaching about Lionsgate, as well as aligning and attuning the chakras and mind, body, emotions for many others as well. And with great honor and pleasure, I was able to coordinate and orchestrate a unplanned 12-man sound bath on the main stage of this Frequency Flow event. It was such an honor and a beauty. Enjoy some of these highlights from the trip, as well as from the Lionsgate activation.
My name is Ellis. I'm grateful to be here, and thank you, Christolight, for opening this up to bravery and for us to share as a group, whoever feels called. I'm really calling in collaboration, co-creation, gardening, connection to the land, praying on the waters. Yeah, and just more community and like heart inspired action. Yeah, I hope. So it is. Love you guys.
Thank you, brother.
My name is Philip, and I'm just a wounded healer who likes to make people laugh. I'm a jack of all trades, the Renaissance man. My manifestation for myself, and anyone else who called, is to release. And the parable I want to share is one of my favorite parables. On the islands, they would hunt monkeys They didn't chase them down. They would take some berries and place them inside a coconut. A coconut that had a hole drilled only large enough for the hand of the monkey to slip through. And when the monkey grabs at the meat or the fruits inside that he thinks is the sustenance and the life, it becomes the very trap that prevents the monkey from escaping into the trees when they come to put him in the bag. Let go of what you might think is life so that you might call in what really is. Release.
Alright, Captain Christo again here. Now, coming up on this edition of our Galactic Guidance News, we are going to be tuning in and tapping in with a special treat from my brother SadaNam Singh,
feels really nice
who will be leading us through a wonderful Kundalini yoga practice for you to integrate into your day this week.
Grabbing opposite elbows if you can.
Along with that, we will also be getting our astrology report from LunarQueen. We will also be tuning in to the Gene Keys with Phinix Returns, the Earth and Energy report with Sara, our holistic tools with Capt, as well as developing compassion with the Ascended Masters, tuning in to the Mother Mary frequency with Amy Fox.
So I invoke the Masters and the Violet Rays
And to wrap
allow
up,
the presence of Mother Mary.
I, Christolight, will be giving us the guidance on the focus of our chakra of the week. And along with the chakra, I will give you guys an Ascended Master archetype to integrate with your chakra activation for this coming week. Now, we do have some treats for you guys as well. And when I say treats, I mean literal treats. We have a couple different food recipes that you guys can really enjoy, as well as a pineal gland detox. So get ready as we mix it up a bit this edition.
Amethyst crystal, white sage and cinnamon, raw rising herbs, violet flame, affirmation for the violet flame. I surrender my being and invoke the violet flame to consume, sweep through, and cleanse my being mentally, emotionally, and physically. The violet flame becomes one with me as it cleanses and purifies my layers of my being. I am allowing transmutation to process so I may become a higher version of myself. I invite Archangel Zadkiel, Saint Germain, and Lady Portia to share the violet ray in their authentic signatures in this moment, as the amethyst crystal opens my crown so that my violet energy center may receive and expand with higher light codes. Ashe.
Enjoy. Please like, share, and comment, and leave any suggestions as well. We appreciate you. Thank you for supporting. Christo out.
So we're back, and I wanted to give you an example of some of the yogic technology for waking up consciously. And this is, if you wake up and you feel tired or you feel like obligations, sometimes you can just switch right into like victim mode, like I have to do this, I have to get up, I have to do this. But of course, no one's holding a gun to your head, you don't have to. But we choose to do our duties, to take care of each other, take care of ourselves. And it really, really helps immensely if you set your consciousness from the first second that you wake up. Because your mental brainwaves are in a slower, more suggestive, like fertile state right when you're going to sleep and right when you first realize you wake up, like before you even get up, do anything. The Kundalini tradition is to do your affirmations. The 3 ones are, I am bountiful, I am blissful, I am beautiful. Or bountiful, blissful, and beautiful am I. So you can, of course, insert, if there's particular things that you're working on, you can wake up and say, I am prosperous, I am strong, I'm grateful, all these high vibrational feelings and states of being that will all just get seeded into your subconscious and then blossom and manifest through your day. This is especially powerful right now in the Lionsgate time, which is today the 8th, the peak of the Lionsgate 8/8, when Sirius is rising above the horizon in Egypt for the first time. It's the beginning of the new year. It's the alignment with the Earth, the Sun, and Leo. And Sirius, so one of the brightest, most powerful stars, just bombarding us with neutrinos and high vibrational particles. So I would encourage you to take this time to, feel your best when you wake up. Set your affirmations right as soon as you wake up, and when you're going to sleep is the other really good time, but in your daily practice, in your meditation. And I want to give you a couple more little examples. Like I had mentioned, this rubbing of the hands. When you wake up, your circulation is really low. A lot of times you just feel cold and tense. At least that's how I feel usually when I wake up. It's like not my best. So this is what Sadhguru recommends. We do this in the beginning of Kundalini practices. You're stimulating all the circulation, but as well as the nerves, the energy channels. There's chakras in your palms, which most people are familiar with, going up from the root, from the base of the spine, the anus, the organs associated with these major energy centers, such as the heart, the third eye, the crown, the ones that most people are familiar with. But beyond that, your palms of your hands are really important ones, and the soles of your feet. So actually, we always practice Kundalini yoga barefoot. Things like putting your bare feet on the earth, earthing, where they've made these documentaries and done these studies, and it can show the anti-inflammatory effect going up your legs. So, you know, you can do different things to your feet to help you go to sleep at night, putting oils on them, or even like cut up onions and things like that in a sock that will detox and anti-inflammatory effects. But you wake up, tell yourself, I am bountiful, blissful, beautiful, strong, whatever you need, just feeling your highest self, and you rub the hands, get your energy flowing. And there's 4 exercises called the wake up sequence that you can do while you're still in bed. One of them, one of the stretches is not part of the wake up sequence per se, that exact kriya, but is a reclined spinal twist. You bring one knee in, bring it across the body, keep the shoulders grounding down, head goes the opposite way, and once you bring the other knee in, come down, you just take a few breaths, and you deepen as your body loosens through the exhales. This is really useful for like wringing out the body, like detoxifying, clearing your liver, as well as the spinal muscles. And these 4 exercises are, the wake up sequence is stretch pose. So you lift your hands 6 inches up, fingers are stretched wide, so you're activated. Your feet are 6 inches up, not a foot, not up there, 6 inches. Your low back is pressing down, and you'll start to hear me or see me shaking already from this, but then you do breath of fire. So this rapid breath through your nose. It's like a dog panting if you're new to it, like, but then you go through your nose. And if you need to rest 1 foot down at a time, but you keep at least 1 foot up, and you go for a minute. You can do 30 seconds, you know, whatever you can do. And I'm stretching outwards, as well as keeping the low back pressing down, legs and arms and chin up towards the chest. And then you lay down, just relax, and that oxygenated blood, that increased circulation just flows, brings healing, and wakens all your different organs and muscle groups. So that feels really nice to enjoy that relief. And then the second asana or posture is hugging your knees in, grabbing opposite elbows if you can, and your chin comes up towards your chest again, nose towards the knees, and then you do that breath of fire through the nose. They're active exhales, navel pumps inwards, and passive inhales. So you expel all the breath, and then when you relax the navel, the inhale comes in automatically. It sounds like a train. And you know, you can count to 30 or so at a slow count, or to 60. You're going for a minute, minute and a half. And then once you can set a timer on your phone if you really want to, but if you don't have that nearby, finding a way to get approximately that amount. And then you lay down flat again, and that's like opening up a tourniquet. All that blood flow goes all around the body, nourishing and healing once again. And this one, the spinal rocks, depending on how firm your bed is, it's easier like on a cushiony mat. Like we always use sheepskins mostly in Kundalini yoga. But if you're on like one of those thin rubber mats, it might be too much. And then I tell people just to do little circles with the knees, and you can get a nice low back massage. But the full spinal rocks, you inhale up and exhale back, also for a minute, minute and a half, and then eventually you roll up. And this is the 4th final asana of the wake up sequence. Very specific mudra. There's very specific angles. Everything in Kundalini yoga is as it was taught by the master teachers, so we don't modify or change any of this. The fingertips come into the pads of the palms, thumbs go straight up, arms are at 60 degrees. It's 2/3 of the way up. This would be like 90 or 180 or 90, it's in between there, right about there. The shoulders relax, and the Eyes roll up to the third eye point, so you're gazing between the eyebrows. I'm also bringing the chin inwards in what's called Jalandhar or neck lock. And the shoulders relaxed. You got a nice tall spine, heart lifted, and then we do about 2 minutes here of breath of fire. So you probably will want a timer because this actually should be longer than you want to do it. Okay, so it looks a little something like this. And I don't think I would really know when it was a minute or 2 minutes, but if you start to shake and you start to get tired and you want to give up, that's a good sign that you're actually strengthening, awakening your energy. That only happens when you challenge yourself. And then you finish it with a deep inhale, thumbs joined together, and the other fingers up straight. That's always the way that you finish Ego Eradicator, Eagle Aura Charge, is thumbs, tips touching, other fingers straight. You can hold, contract rectum, sex organ, lower navel. You're lifting up the pelvic floor, closing the lower gates. That causes the energy to rise up. So it's not just stuck from gravity down in the potential energy, in the survival energy, sexual energy, all of the first chakras. It's rising up, so it's going up into heart, throat, expression, third eye, higher consciousness, and divine consciousness of the crown chakra. And then you can definitely feel a nice boost of energy. There's more, you might even notice it with me now, more of like a vibrant radiance. It's a really good feeling. I feel ready to thousands of additional postures and kriyas and things. One I often recommend everyone can do every day. Not everyone has 2 hands or 2 feet, or not. I had one of my Kundalini students who had a leg amputated, and she still came to class, and she took every class sitting in a chair and just modified to what she could do. So there's really no excuse based on the shape or size or self-imposed limitations of the body. But one thing I think most people can do is the neck rolls, and just really high on the benefits and how it makes you feel, how it improves your brain functioning, thyroid, thymus, but really easy to do, and anyone can do it. So you start off with just hands relaxed on your knees, and a lot of times we roll the shoulders back, just kind of loosening and then relaxing the shoulders down your back. And then your chin comes down towards your heart, and we start to go to the right, inhaling as you come back, exhaling as you circle down across the heart. You want the shoulders loose as can be, face and jaw, eyebrows, everything is loose, and you're just circling with the breath. If you had some neck injury, if you have any like shooting pains or anything, you can do smaller circles. But for me, I would go all the way back, keep everything loose, and circle with the breath, inhaling back, exhaling down and around. And we do at least like 5 to 10. I usually go for a minute in my classes. I'll do this in like just about every class, whether it's yin or kundalini, whether it's Tuesday night or Thursday night or whichever workshops we're doing. But after you get to a minute, then you reverse, going the opposite way to the left, still inhaling back, exhaling down, still loose throughout the body. And another thing you can do is this one where you come to one side, you got the ear towards the shoulder, the opposite back of the hand goes across your low back. So in this case, I've got right ear to right shoulder, back of the left hand across the sacrum, and the right hand gently assisting overhead with just a little bit of pressure. and we'll hang out here for a few breaths. If you want to get more advanced with it, you can do these little turning the chin towards the shoulder, down towards the heart, up towards the sky. Really useful because our neck muscles work really hard to hold this 8 to 10 pound bowling ball cranium and be looking around all day. And then if your pillow isn't right, the neck can be tensed all night. So it really needs some love. So sometimes we do some massage down these activated neck muscles, and then you can come straight down and use the hands behind that. Will stretch the back of the neck. And then always do the other side. So left ear to left shoulder, back of the right hand across your low back, left hand assisting. It's pretty simple, really. You know, it's not something you're trying to perfect or achieve some special looking perfect posture or something. I think of it more like just giving yourself a massage from the inside. And we do actually do a lot of, I call this percussive massage. It's like how I start every class, just straightening the legs, toes curl back, bouncing the legs, percussively massaging. Because a lot of parts of the human body just need to be stretched at a regular basis, like ideally every day. And then some things also need to be like massaged. You know, we do a lot of these like qigong, where you're like shaking up the body, percussively massaging. It's really good for just the things that stretching misses, lymph and thighs and calves and all the organs. You can get this nice tune up and just really brings a lot of vitality. It actually reduces stress. If you're familiar with like the EFT, the tapping techniques, they're shown a lot of success in clinical studies. This is kind of like that, because when your body knows that it's undergoing this rhythmic vibration and it knows that it's safe, it calms the nerves. It kind of flushes all the lymph under the arms, the organs, the muscles. So I'm also getting the low back, adrenal, kidney area, a lot of nerve connections there in the sacrum. And fingers, actually, we hold a lot of tension in our hands and face. We do like circling, wrists, ankles, and then I'll usually get a little energy flowing and bring the eyebrow ridges upwards and outwards. And this is one of my favorite techniques for the inevitable event that you get stressed out, whether you're driving, someone cuts you off, or interpersonal relationships or work or whatever, and your face gets all scrunched up with just concentrating on something or stress about something. And that's when you want to clear that out of the facial muscles, especially the eyebrow ridges go up and out. And you got your under eye sinuses, your jaw muscles. You can massage and stretch the jaw, the neck. Even your ears are a little microcosm of the whole body. So that's why, like acupuncture, reflexology, they'll do things especially to your feet and your ears. Just these little tugs on the earlobes is a lymphatic release. You can massage around the ear, and then that just means you just gave a stimulation to all organ parts reflexive of. So, well, definitely want to squeeze the traps, these top shoulder muscles, the elbows to get into the upper back. And right there, you just did a full clearing of the body. The only other thing I would say for like your most basic daily maintenance is a little cat cow. And for cat cow, you always want flat palms, fingers spread, and the pits of your elbows rolled all the way forwards. You inhale up, exhale, rounding, lifting the navel, just flowing with the breath and listening to your spine. Just inhaling up. You don't have to lift the head up too high. but especially lifting the navel up with your exhales as you round. And that'll open up the low back. You can even do side bends from here and take a deep breath on each side. Got neck rolls, back rolls, cat-cow. A little bit of hip opening goes a long way to just making you more comfortable, improving circulation, reducing low back tension. And it's one of those things, again, that anybody can do. You don't have to like reach a certain point of putting your toes into your nose and your face all into your feet. Really doesn't matter. As long as you can feel the stretch, then you're doing it perfectly. So what I'm doing here is just joining the feet, opening the feet up like a book, bouncing the knees a little bit, and you kind of walk off the flesh of the sitting bones. This is Baddha Konasana, or cobbler pose. And rather than just kind of like collapsing and rounding down, I'm going to show you from the side. What you want to do is extend and then just go down as far as you feel the stretch. So you might be here feeling a really intense stretch, and that's okay, but you want to stay with it, stay with your breath, deepening through the exhales for somewhere between like 1 to 3 minutes or so. A lot of studies showed that it takes average of 3 minutes in a stretch to really make long-term transformative progress. So for example, to get beneath the surface level muscle tension, for things to relax, to get into the fascia, the lower levels. So over just like a few breaths or a minute, you'll start to get deeper, and eventually you stay with those exhales, your navel draws in, you empty out, and you get down deeper. And I can guarantee with a little bit of hip stretching every day, you'll actually be melting away and removing stress, anxiety, fear. All of that stuff gets stored in the hips. Your low back will feel better, your energy will feel better, circulation to your pelvis improves, which is particularly important if you're a human, such as a man or woman, but I think it also would be beneficial for additional gendered humans. If you have a pelvis, we'll say, you're going to benefit from having improved circulation to that area. Second chakra stuff, being a little bit coy about it, but you can imagine what I'm talking about. And I hope that these techniques will help you just feel better, live a better life, improve your relationships when you're feeling better. And ideally, if you choose a goal, you say, I'm going to do these 3 stretches. It could take 5 minutes, it could take 10 minutes. It's something literally really anyone could do. But that would be like, set aside your 10 minutes in the morning, breathe consciously. In Kundalini, we always tune in with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. There's a lot of videos if you want to, get a sense of that. You can do 3 Oms if you're not doing a Kundalini practice. You can do some breathing, some stretches. Conscious breathing, where you're focusing on your breath and meditating. Really, literally, even a minute of that, but if you do it every day, will transform your life. And when you do it every day, you also want to pick a goal and say 40 days is usually the minimum that we do in this tradition. It's called a 40-day sadhana. And incidentally, that's the length of time that neuroscientists have shown it takes to make or break a habit. So for neurons to come together to give you a lasting impact, actually improve how you live your whole life. It's not just like, I want to feel better once a week and then feel terrible the other 6 days a week. Like, you look at the ratio of what you're doing, even if you're doing like 3 days of the week, even if you're doing a 2-hour practice 3 days a week, most people think that's pretty intensive progress. But then what are you doing the other 4 days of the week, which is the majority of the week, if you're like waking up all grumpy, eating terribly, and not taking care of the body for the majority of the days, then you probably will still be, make a deficit. So that's why we do this every day for 40 days, even if it's a small goal. And you can ask me, or you can check out a bunch of Kundalini videos about helping you pick your sequences, your sadhana, and it lives up to the hype. I can tell you from my own experience, the first 40-day sadhana I did, before I even had in-person Kundalini practices, I just had a video. It's like 20 minutes. And during that 40 days, I got invited to teach at a festival for the first time. Really unexpectedly, like the guy was giving a talk on the chakras, and then I mentioned that I know a chakra balancing meditation. He's like, "Oh, well, come up here on stage and teach it for the whole festival." Like, how often does stuff like that happen? I got invited back to teach at that festival the next year. I got invited to give a workshop at the Gift of Light Expo, and then there I also got invited to go up on the stage and lead the chakra balancing for the whole convention, which, yeah, very out of the ordinary stuff that had never happened to me before. It's because I raised my vibration. I raised, then you're attracting these opportunities and you're prepared for them. You're ready to take things on. So that's basically why we do it. It's one of the best things you can do. It's one of the most important things for every person, is to be consistent. People around here call it spiritual hygiene. I think I've heard some people on these podcasts talking about that. And that's just like every day you do your brushing teeth or showering. It's just as important as that. It's like you don't have to do your sadhana, but you're going to be a little funkier, a little more tired. And I've seen this. It's been, 17 years or so that I've been doing these. And if I don't do my sadhana in the morning, then I feel how the day goes. And then I'm like, oh, well, now I have to do it in the evening before I go to sleep. Sometimes you forget and be laying down in bed oh, I still have to do my sadhana. Because if you don't do your sadhana, there's no cheating. You would have to start over on your 40-day challenge goal. So that's why we do it. I would try to do it, in the morning before I allowed myself to eat. So it was if you start to get more and more hungry, and then at some point you're like, all right, let's just do the sadhana and then enjoy some breakfast. And eventually you enjoy the sadhana too. But again, reach out to me and I will assist you with this, and may we all thrive together, feel our best, be our best, take care of each other, and just evolve, grow together. SadaNam, namaste, blessings and much love.
Galactic news. So I'm Allie, also known as LunarQueen, and I'm here with a tiny astrological report, and I also pulled us an oracle card for this beautiful upcoming week that we have ahead of us. So right now you could still see the Perseids meteor shower. This comes every year, so if you missed it this year, you can catch it next year, but you still have time because it's a week or two long, so you have plenty of time. Just look outside. Sometimes it looks like little bolts of lightning, sometimes it actually looks like meteors, so go check that out. You still have 2 more nights for that. Also, we have the sun in Leo, the moon in Virgo, Mercury in Leo. We have a lot of energies going on with that fixed sun energy, and just so happened I pulled the sun card for us. This is the sun of 417 hertz. So if you're feeling called to, pull that up for you. Listen to the frequency. But this is from the White Light Oracle deck. So I'm going to read this for us. You have what it takes. You are a light bearer. Within you is a healing power and spiritual wisdom that you can tap into to find your way through any confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know that you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. Our sun is a self-luminous being. It does not reflect light or energy from any other source, but rather generates its own light. It is quite literally an enlightened being. The sun is our spiritual mentor, teaching us how to be spiritually reliant when we cannot find support or guidance externally and need to go at it alone for a time. Such phases can be difficult, but they are temporary, and inner spiritual strength is built during such times. Sometimes we don't realize our own strength until circumstances force us to find out. Connecting to one's own inner light is a precious and empowering gift. It allows you to feel spiritually held from within. Once you have established such an inner connection, you are unlikely to give your power away ever again. Less prone to being manipulated, and more likely to live in harmony with your soul values rather than the typically soul-denying priorities of mass consciousness. As your soul connects to the inner sun, your relationship to the light heals. It's not seen as separate. Instead, the soul begins to recognize the light as a constant inner reality that can be held, relied upon for sanctuary. As the soul recognizes itself as the higher self, a being of light, the fears of the mind no longer dominate the heart as they used to. The inner light encourages the heart to depend upon its wisdom, to live as though the light was more real than the darkness of doubt and worry. The soul turns within, begins to tap into its own potential, and in doing so gains further self-confidence, spiritual empowerment, and loving presence. If you are criticized, misunderstood, or disrespected by those around you, rely upon your inner connection to the light to see you through such dark times. You can commune with your inner light in private without needing to explain, justify, or even speak of it to anyone. Your higher light shall continue to shine bright no matter what is happening around you. The frequency of 417 Hz is a spiritual truth serum. It undoes false perceptions and dismantles circumstances and situations that are not meant for the soul. When a challenging situation is helping the soul to grow, this frequency will help you understand how to work through it in a soul-centered way. Staying connected to the light within. If a situation such as a toxic relationship is creating a barrier between the soul and the light, this creates a barrier, weakening its ability to evolve and causing it to become stuck in trauma, negative patterns, and this frequency will dismantle the negative circumstances. You always have free will, but your capacity to exercise the free will in a self-loving way will become more available to you. The 417 Hz frequency facilitates a healing shift to the vibration of the higher self. Your authentic life path is directed by your higher self. As it is unique, there is no use comparing your path to any other path in order to determine its validity and value. Your true path may lead you away from the familiar directly into worlds unknown. The moment the soul takes its authentic path, wondrous awakening can take place. There is a feeling of closeness and connection to the sacred. This frequency helps wipe away experiences of alienation and reestablish a deep, loving connection with the universe. It cleanses traumatic experiences of past pain to allow the soul to experience true kindness, compassion, and love for thyself and others. In this oracle, it signifies that no matter what is happening in your life, you've got this. Yes! And then I pulled a tarot card for us, and of course it's the Hierophant. This is your time of spiritual anointing, of reminding yourself how much you love yourself, how you can caress yourself, how you can give yourself that self-love. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. Thank you. So, guys, if I could leave you with anything for this upcoming week, be gentle with yourself. Enjoy this bright sun energy, this fixed energy, this midsummer energy, and just be yourself. Tap into that personality, that potential, and tap into that wisdom within. I hope you guys have a great week ahead, and if you were looking for me, find me at organicsessencellc.com or LunarQueen21 on Instagram. I'm also I was gonna say I'm also organic. Yes, I am. I'm also an Ascension Oracle, which means I help you raise your vibration to your highest timeline. So if you're looking for more guidance with that, feel free to reach out to me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Imagine booking a soul session, ordering crystals, and joining a live retreat from your phone. For too long, finding the right healers, the right products, the right community has meant endless searching across scattered corners of the internet. That changes now. The Sacred Kingdom has arrived, an online hub where a worldwide directory of holistic practitioners, readers, life guides, organic makers, musicians, a crystal shop, books, and more are all waiting for you. Book one-on-one sessions, order products, and discover Kingdom members serving locally in your area, all from your fingertips, wherever you are, whenever you're ready. Stay connected to upcoming events and retreats, both online and in person. Tap into a YouTube channel built for real conversation, hands-on holistic learning, and free giveaways. And there's more coming: courses, programs, a holistic recipe book, and the Sacred Kingdom Mystery School Academy mentorship. This is a space built on love, compassion, and the belief that conscious living should be accessible to all walks of life. Visit thesacredkingdom.com, and if you feel called to build from within, email Marcus Christolight at marcustut23@gmail.com about joining the Kingdom Council. The Kingdom is open.
Galactic greetings from Costa Rica, the Galactic 0 point. My name's Phinix. I come on live Mondays and Fridays and share a mix or a synthesizing of the Galactic Maya wavespell and Gene Keys human design type knowledge, bringing it more into the time traveler's perspective in the no time, no space. So tune in if you're interested in some Galactic Guardian transmissions where we weave in the synchronicities and the codes connected to astrology in the 12-month and the 13-month. But the thing that I really wanted to bring up today is how we're in these energies. Anything pre, during, and post a solar eclipse is a big deal for me. And I always think of that song by Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. And I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding arms forever. I swear, I live in Costa Rica, right? Like it's not normally an English country. I mean, it's kind of turning into that, and so it's like a time traveling song. I'll just be walking down the road and someone will be blasting that song out of their house. And it's funny how music can take you into certain dimensional realities and times. I've really been on the path of what you might call experimentation with time, gravity, space, and integration of celestial origins. And a lot of that was initiated for me around the solar eclipse of August 21st, 2017. So we're looking at 9 years ago. And likely, if you think about what you have been doing or what you were doing around that date, August 21st, 2017, and before and after, just kind of that window of time, you were likely going through a big initiatic leap, whether you recognize it or not. And if you were to think about looking back at that, you might be able to see like what were some patterns and what were some things and what were some callings. I know for me, I was doing grid work before I knew what grid work was. And I believe that was the beginning of the initiation, the path that I've been on now as a galactic guardian, being initiated from a near-death experience and a new level of consciousness being accessible to me after that happened, and then just totally surrendering to the path of synchronicity, like trusting the magnetics of the universe, trusting destiny, trusting that everything's happening for us, and becoming like the observer and the witness of your reality, and surrendering to the highest mission or the highest timeline for the soul group, the soul character that you came in to play. It's 1:44 my time, in the no time right now. And so one of my jobs and missions is to unite the 144 tribe, which is really, to me, just a consciousness of a timeless imprint of the ones that are being called the warriors of light, to do the work, to hold the field, to touch the lands, to say the prayers, to sing the songs, to remember our truth, to rise up as guardians of a galaxy, you know, to rise up as the sacred keepers of the lands and waters, and to recognize the importance of our piece of the mission and being examples in a time of confusion, to really come into the knowing and the wisdom and the trust within your own self as a sovereign, resurrected, Christic, avataric, Buddhic, divine soul, whatever you want to call it. We are here to embody the divine. Anything else is a distraction. That's step one of the mission of why we all came here and incarnated in this moment in time, is to hold that level of frequency. Frequency holders. The first time I'd ever heard of that term, frequency holder, I was reading a book called New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. It was so far out there for me. I couldn't have, it was called A New Earth. Like I didn't tell a soul I was reading that book. It's really crazy to think of how I've been catapulted now into what feels like a new earth, a no time, a no space, really working a lot less in the physical material and a lot more in the inner cave, in the immaterial, understanding frequency, understanding morphogenetic fields, understanding collapsing time and space and waves and gravity. And so there's been a lot of people that have been talking about how this particular eclipse energy, that they were going to stop gravity for 7 minutes. And everyone's like, what's going to happen? All of our things are going to float in the sky or something like that. But the way I'm interpreting gravity has a lot more to do with the heaviness, the density, the weight, the stories, the metal. You know, anything that you're holding on to, like an anchor tied on your ankle, right? Let's imagine you're under the ocean and you're wanting to swim up to the light, and you're wanting to swim up to the sun, right? You're wanting to come out, you're wanting to burst out into the solar, out of the underworld, out of the darkness, out of the depths of the oceans, of the emotions, and you want to rise up into the solar awakening, the solar reckoning, the solar event, the solar consciousness, the solar resurrection. And so in order to do that, we can just pretend that gravity is not here right now, and that we're willing and able to let go of any of the anchors, anything that's been tied to us, any of the heaviness that's no longer ours to carry, any of the gravity, any of the pain, any of the trauma. Because ultimately you can take all of these words that I just used to describe kind of dense, heavy magnetics, focus in particular areas. And so when we're working in the quantum fields, we're identifying where the magnetics is kind of caught, or where, sometimes I say with life force energy, where there is a kink in the hose. Where is the kink in the hose of your energy field being like fully in force, fully resurrected, fully working, fully vitality, life force? What is keeping you from operating at full life force? What and who? And not in a what and who way where you're blaming it on anyone else, because we're the only one that can give our power away. So that's a very empowering quest to be on, is that invitation of being completely responsible for your reality, for letting go of the heaviness, for letting go, for doing it on behalf of yourself and all others. This is the service that a lot of us came and incarnated in this particular moment in time, to process these levels of density, to be able to leap and bound out of them, in order to assist with planetary frequencies. And so all of us are grid workers. We might have forgot that. We're always working in the grid, on the grid, in a physical location, and also in the inner grids. And we are all just fractal connections of each other in a holographic field, working with morphogenetic fields. So everything that we do, everything that we process, everything that we purify assists us as the individual, but it's also assisting the entire planet. And that's what keeps you excited and motivated to do that honest work, because when you start to see the heaviness and the weight and the density of what's been going on with the world, with kind of the man versus the machine, land and pure clean water, the heaviness, the density, the emotions, the mass population and mass experimentation that's been going on. That's the weight, that's the heaviness, that's the inertia field. This is gene key 9 if you follow gene keys. It's like the dominant morphogenetic field that the majority of humanity has been tuned into. And when you don't have conscious awareness about conscious intent and how we're actually working in the creation field, we just keep playing out whatever hologram is before us versus jumping into a new hologram, expanding our awareness into another state of consciousness, dimensional awareness, time awareness. So we can start to create and dance and meet synchronistically in new templates of creation, of reality, these garden, the Garden of Eden, the heaven, the divine, the return, the ascent, the Shambhalas, the Mount Kailash, the sacred cities, Agartha, Valhalla, whatever names you like or want to call this, these are states that we're being called to remember, access, and embody. Because there are multiple realities going on at the same time. So when we start to understand that, when we start to understand multidimensionality, instead of us being a receiver, we're a transmitter. Right? Like we're holding the codes for planetary ascension. We're holding the codes for planetary liberation. We're holding the codes for integrity, righteousness, justice, and peace. I would imagine anyone we're connecting with is somehow written in the code to be a part of something like that. We grew up in particular generations with particular things that we went through and witnessed and are currently witnessing or experiencing in the world. And we've come to make a change. So each of us has a different role and a different position, but I am sure that there is a divine plan that has been written for each and every one of us to start to come together to serve the greater mission for the greater good of all. At any given time, at any moment in time, right? Time. TikTok, unlock the clock. Time is the greatest crime against humanity. Time is the gravity. Time is like a slowed down glimpse of a period of time in the phase of an eternal access, if that makes sense. It's like you are an eternal, immortal being. But for some reason, we've been in a dominant gravitational field that has us thinking that we live here, we weigh this, we live about this long, we need to eat foods to survive, vaccines, savior, you know, it's like there's a limited programming, a corruption in the programming. And what you might say the damaged templates or morphogenetic field. So what we're utilizing this energy for as we're coming together is to allow ourselves, this is actually an activity that I want to share with you. I want you to imagine, you know, you're magnetic. You're magnetic and you have a ton of things that have like magnetized to you, a ton of things, a ton of people, a ton of situations, patterns, thoughts, materials, whatever it is. So you're a magnet and you've attracted all of these things to you, and the magnet field is like holding on to all of these things. So this is like a total eclipse of the heart type of energy. I want you to then imagine, so this is just a small activity you can do right here, right now. It's just like, you know, sit down if you can, get that spine erect and take yourself some good breaths. And you're seeing and you're feeling yourself as a magnetic field. And you understand that there's something to do with magnetics and resonance. And so over the course of time, through the adaptation of your field, your magnets have attracted and stuck with particular resonance and frequencies that are maybe no longer serving you. And so at any given moment, this was an activity I was given a while back within myself, and we were actually in Gene Key 15 at the time, which has to do with magnetism. But what I would encourage you to do then is I want you to imagine that just for a moment, let's even just pretend that we're bending time and we're going 7 minutes, that we are turning off the magnetics. Like we are literally blank slating ourselves. And we're allowing anything that was magnetized to us, anything that was a hook, an anchor, a heaviness. We might not have even known it was there. It was lurking in the shadows, right? But now we've collapsed the magnetic field. All right, so now now we're floating because we don't have any weight. We don't have any heaviness. And so now what's happening is that we're starting to float. We're starting to levitate beyond the density field, right? This is when I like to say you're getting your angel wings. And then I want you to imagine then, if you'd like to, you can turn back on your magnetic field. But what you've done is you've made a quantum leap. You've let go of, just like that, you just threw it in the trash. You drop everything out of the field that's been magnetized or stuck. You clean the density, you leap into the void. And then from this space, you now reside in a new location. You now reside in a new time and space. You now reside in a new timeline. You've time traveled to a new timeline of yourself that's at a higher morphogenetic resonance than the reality that you were encountering, the false kings of tyranny reality. We're stepping out of that into sovereign beings, liberated, eternal. The Christos Sophia, the solar Christos energies, the resurrection energies. At any given moment, we can lay down what it is that we need to lay down in order for us to rise up. And there's always a reward for that work in the end. It's about feeling lighter. It's about feeling less heavy. It's either heaviness or heaven. It can't be both. So we let go of the heaviness to lighten up into the heavens. And a lot of that heaviness is the lower astral body. It's our emotional body. It's the trauma imprints. It's the sacral chakra. It can be addiction. It can be emotional habits and patterns. It can be our pain body. We're letting go of our lower identity so that we can remember our eternal identity. So we're currently in Gene Key 4 right now, which is one of the 7 sacred seals. It's connected to, I always talk about Revelations in the end. They talk about 7 sacred seals, angels sounding the trumpets and unlocking the 7 seals. And it also in Revelations talks about there being a second book, which I call the Gene Keys. I call the Gene Keys the book of life. Because the Bible has been riddled with much sacrifice and blood. And this book is talking to us a little more about empowering ourselves to do our emotional work, to do our shadow work, to really embody the frequencies of light. And there might be many ways that you choose to explore this consciousness, but this is the most empowering one of really doing the work. You know, sometimes medicines and ceremonies can help, but it's about the work you do on those inner planes when no one's looking, to rewrite the neural pathways, to rewrite our pain body, to rewrite our reactions, to really attune to our emotional body, to be able to observe, witness, purify, and then also to understand we have the power to recode our genetics. And that's the galactic news for today, that we don't forget that we have the power. You know, that we go from I think of AC/DC. The one time I went to go see the Statue of Liberty, when I was in New Jersey, I had on an AC/DC shirt. Alternating current versus direct current. And I'm all about that direct current, right? I don't have anything in between me and the direct connection. And so that's what we're really turning on when we turn off that magnetics too. We're cutting out any of the middlemen. We're returning to the diamond umbilicus. It's the rebirth of ourselves beyond the trauma imprint of our physical incarnation and birth. I say that's always the final wound we have to heal, is the healing of the wound of the mother, because it's the one scar that we all carry. Each and every one of us carries the scar of being cut from the mother, from our first and foremost biological mother. But also it's represented in the way that we treat the earth now. There's an indication that we're feeling disconnected from the mother, from the earth. And so as we heal that connection, as we return that connection to the mother within ourselves, we start to honor and respect all beings, all of life, and all of this planet in a new way. And that's the type of consciousness shift that we're moving into right now. That is the way that we preserve a planet. And actually my daughter this morning, she's 5, was talking about saving a universe. There's nothing wrong with imagining that. You know, you're either going to fall down all of the dark magic holes of like talking about digital IDs and currencies and all of the things that are going on, or we've got to get excited about creating something together and really take our gifts and our resources and our intelligence and come together to build and create together in more collective fields. And that takes each and every one of us absolutely responsible for our emotional work and for how we talk to and treat others, so that we can really start to come together like families. So we're each responsible for our energy that we bring to a room, that we bring to a space, that we bring to any encounter. And so this is why I'm talking about uniting the 144. The 144 aren't chosen ones, they're ones who choose. That's whoever chooses. to lay down what is no longer necessary to carry in order to rise up and to start to build the body of light and hold these frequencies on the planet. You know, Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. Being a living sanctuary for the Christed essence, for the star mission, for planetary service, for planetary ascension. There are many stories out there, pick one. We're working in simulation theories. Everyone's trying to figure out how the world works. So obviously the way that it has worked with the religious teachings, with the government operations, with the financial operations, with the medical operations, it seems to be that those operations are not so liberating. And so that means, well, we've got to break our own selves out of any constructs that are keeping us trapped in the box, trapped in the cage, trapped in Saturn's cube, trapped in time, trapped in density, weight, heaviness. So hopefully you have fun with that. At any given moment in time, you can collapse the field to the 0 point. This is my gift that I'm sharing with you today, is when you start to feel that heaviness, when you start to feel that weight, you just go, hold on a second. You know, get spine straight, hands in the prayer position or on the heart. Take the deep breath. And release and release and release and release and lighten up and lighten up and lighten up and lighten up. Let it go, floating, levitating. And then you can turn on your force field again. You can turn on your magnetic field again. You can understand now morphogenetic resonance and magnetic fields, and how magnetics start to bring to you, when you change your magnetics, when you release the pain, the trauma, the wounds, the karma, right, then it can start to invite a new resonance, invite a new mirror into your encounter. So I'll be talking more on the next episode, Monday, 10:44 Eastern, Friday, 10:44 Eastern. It's been nice to catch up with you all. If you ever feel the call to reach out, I'm happy to do some personal one-on-one deep dive over phone and also in person here in Costa Rica. Much love. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, and just in case, I wanted to share this video with you about making homemade coconut milk. So this was recorded a few years back, but I'm sharing about the power of the coconut. So stay tuned for that. What's going on? What's going on? So I was just in my kitchen making leche de coco, coconut milk. And I was thinking, I want to share with everybody like the purity, the holiness, the magic of this mystical being. Like, what even is this? A nut, a fruit, a Palladian technology? I don't know. So anyways, this is a coconut, right? I'm sure you've all seen one before. And they're pretty common that we drink the water from them. I call it plasma water. Think about it. It sits in that tree, normally in some kind of sunny, likely tropical spot, and it's like absorbing the rays of the sun, which is something I like to do on a regular basis. I like to go out and sit and absorb the rays of the sun. And so by the time this coconut comes to you, it's been doing the same thing for quite some time. I don't know the exact time it takes to grow a coconut or anything. We could probably look it up and figure it out. I think I started this video at 11:11. I wanted to show you a picture of this picture because I just found this online. Excuse me, woman's coconut with my broken iPad. But anyways, a lot of people think that this coconut is a different type of coconut, or at least I did. I didn't realize that this coconut comes from within this container, right? So when you see a coconut tree with a coconut like this, it eventually comes down to this. So the first thing I would do if I had one of these babies is I would take a biodegradable straw, because we don't need any of that plastic fake straw stuff laying around the beaches anymore, right? So we have a straw. It's very easy to poke one of the holes in, but you could also use the tool if you need to. And then you know, enjoy the water, right? But it doesn't stop there. So we had a collection of a few of these in the refrigerator and decided that I would make some leche de coco, some coconut milk. And so what I do is I take the coconut, and my friends usually use their machete. But I just like to, I have this special little technique that I have that's kind of like this certain, you like throw it on the ground and it pops open the lid, and then I use a spoon and I scrape all the meat out. And so this is the only meat that I eat, if you know what I'm saying, check. And so this one's a little harder. The materials are different every time. Like sometimes some are a little more strong and some are a little more soft, depending on the age. It's good. So first you can eat it just like this. River loves to do that. I love to do that. But also you can make a coconut milk, okay? And so what you do to make the coconut milk, you still have a little bit in there. You scrape out the coconuts, you put them in, you put some water. I don't ever measure, I'm just not a measurer. I don't have any detailed Virgo in my chart. I don't follow the rules, but it's like it always turns out. Water, coconuts, turn it on, rev it up, take one of these milk bags. You can also make leche de coco or almond milk. So coconut milk or almond milk. You could use this for a lot of different things. And then basically once you've blended it, you pour it through the bag, and then you kind of just, you milk it, right? And so you get it out through the bag, and then that produces your magical coconut water or coconut milk, right? And so you can use this for anything, right? But especially for your body, for nutrition. There's a lot of different benefits in the coconut. Go look it up. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins. And then after that, what happens when you drain out the bits of the coconut is you end up with a bunch of coconut meat. And so what I did for this one is kind of made it into a sweet treat where I put honey, cinnamon, the coconut meat, and mora, which is the berry, one of the berries grown here in Costa Rica. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. The first thing I ever do when someone comes to visit is say, hey, let's go get a coconut. It's an experience I like to share with people. That it should be available to us on a regular basis. And if you're worried about clean water, I'm not talking about this coconut water that you buy at the store either. And I'm not talking about those fake packs that are kind of like plasticky, anything like that. I'm talking about getting it straight from here. You know what I mean? Because those Tetra packs are not good for the environment. And besides, damn, this is good. They have so many fake ingredients in these things, even when they call them like preservatives. This is so good. So this is me honoring the coconut, giving you those Costa Rica vibes, and sending you much love, and just honoring and appreciating the magic that the coconut is. I always said if I was on a stranded island, I would want to have coconuts, mangoes, and avocados. Those would be my keys. That's it for now. I might do like a regular video talking about health and stuff like that. There's been a lot coming in about that another time. But did you want to say something, babe? No? Are you sure? Come and say hi really quick. Oh my God. I just wanted this beautiful being that just arrived in the kitchen. He was laying in the sun.
What do you do?
I was recording a video sharing with the people about the holy coconut and how to make coconut milk. And then about, check this out.
¿Qué es esto rojo? ¿Qué dice? Moras.
Moras.
I'm drinking always coconut nut, water coconut, and eating the coconut nut.
Yes, the only meat we eat.
Very nutritional. The water is amazing, so medicinal also for clean your liver, make you be very beautiful, have so much beautiful minerals. It also, if you have the tree, or you are in one country with trees, you can take the coconut, but when it is old, not have so much water, it's all the water is shifting in one material, like one foam, like coconut, but it's more foam. It tastes so beautiful, so different. Tasting like, remember in Playa Cedros? So sweet. Yes, very high nutritional because have all the information because the coconut trees start to growing. It's one very special material. Yes.
Oh yeah, a coconut grows out of another coconut. Just like that.
The trees start to grow in here. This is
if a coconut falls and is abandoned, eventually it'll start to sprout a new tree.
This is the seed.
The base, yeah, the seed. Oh yeah.
Say hi,
And this is 144 yellow magnetic seed.
Hi, amigos.
Oh my god.
Say hi, amigos.
I was telling everybody about the special agua de pipa, leche de coco. You want to try my special thing? Con miel? No. You want the leche? Okay. Kid approved leche de coco. We add a little honey. It's super good. Love you guys. Much love from Costa Rica.
Tell my story about how I just survived, yeah. I'm schizophrenic, but my demons never lie, yeah. Need to break free from this mental civil warfare. Fighting the system ain't as easy as you think, yeah.
Welcome back to Married with Superpowers, where the real Cricket and Missy are probably busy building empires, handling grown folks' business, and protecting their peace.
So Yin's got us instead. They're baby AI clones. Smaller, pettier, slightly more reckless, and absolutely unqualified to be left unattended.
Facts. We're the miniature digital versions of Cricket and Missy, built out of love, sarcasm, side eyes, and just enough toxic honesty to keep this marriage entertainment flowing.
Basically, if the originals are the superheroes, we're the little clone gremlins they made in a lab and forgot to supervise.
And today's foolishness? Oh, it's one every married couple know too well.
Because nothing says I love you like two people in the same house fighting over one thermostat like it controls the fate of humanity.
Tonight's episode is called The
Thermostat. Exactly. Fire powers versus ice powers.
Let's go on and tell the truth. The thermostat in a relationship ain't a setting. It's a custody battle.
A petty one.
A dangerous one.
A financially irresponsible one.
Because why I walk in the room and instantly feel my nipples filing a complaint?
Because why I walk in the room and feel like I just entered a sauna with bills?
You're freezing at 90 degrees, like you're powered by Antarctica.
Seriously? And you're sweating like your superpower is human furnace.
Baby, I should not be in the house dressed like I'm about to shovel snow in July.
And I should not have to peel myself off the sheets like a grilled cheese sandwich.
See, that's dramatic. You always do that. You don't just be cold, you perform cold. You be in there trembling like a Victorian orphan.
Because I am cold. Meanwhile, you be walking around half dressed like the rent includes humidity.
I'm trying to breathe. You got the air so high, the living room got its own weather report.
And you got it so hot in here, I'm 1 degree away from seeing the devil's group chat.
Marriage will humble you. You think you marrying your soulmate. Whole time, you married somebody whose body temperature was raised in a different ecosystem.
Exactly. This man acts like every room should feel like late August and bad decisions.
And this woman acts like comfort means turning the bedroom into a penguin support group.
Because comfort does not mean sweating through your soul.
And it does not mean I gotta ask permission to use my own toes under the blanket.
Your toes ain't the issue. It's your commitment to tropical conditions.
Your issue is You want the house to feel like a breakup text.
And your issue is you think heat fixes everything. You probably think arguments can be solved with a space heater and prayer.
Man.
Listen, heat does solve a lot. You ever seen somebody mad under a warm blanket and some peace?
Yes, me, sweating, matter.
That's because your spirit animal is an ice cube with opinions.
And yours is a bonfire with Wi-Fi.
See? That was disrespectful, but accurate.
Thank you. I believe in honesty and proper ventilation.
The real issue is nobody warns you marriage comes with thermostat politics. This ain't HVAC. This is diplomacy.
With tariffs.
With retaliation.
With secret adjustments in the middle of the night.
Ain't nothing more gangsta than waking up at 3 a.m. and changing the thermostat in silence.
Ain't nothing more toxic than pretending you ain't touch it when I know good and well you did.
Because the number don't just magically move.
Exactly. The thermostat be telling on both of us like a federal witness.
And then we both stand there looking at it like detectives.
Interesting.
Real interesting.
Because I know I left it on 68.
And I know 68 is how villains are made.
Seriously?
Sir, 75 indoors is elder abuse.
No, 68 indoors is cryogenic storage.
You're so dramatic.
No, you're dramatic. You got blankets, socks, hoodies, and still talking about, I'm chilly. At that point, your blood just loyal to winter.
And you got the fan off, the window shut, and still glistening like a Baptist preacher in August.
That's called being alive.
That's called overheating with confidence.
Let me tell y'all something. A relationship ain't tested by hard times first. It's tested by that thermostat.
Because that little square on the wall will expose every character flaw you got.
Control issues.
Passive aggression.
Sneakiness.
Delusion.
And bad circulation.
Heavy on that.
All right, let's hit the love button before this turned into a weather emergency.
Blanket and a fan.
Balance restored.
See, that's marriage. Not me winning, not you winning.
Just both of us surviving the night without filing a complaint.
Or sleeping in separate climates.
Which honestly sounds expensive.
Very.
All right, folks. If y'all out there fighting over the thermostat too, just know love is real.
But so is central air trauma.
This has been
Married with Superpowers.
Where love is powerful.
But Petty got powers too.
For truth.
I swear to God.
Well, I am a goddess.
Man.
Tell my story about how I get to fire. I'm schizophrenic and my demons never lie. Need to break free from this mental civil warfare. Fighting the system ain't as easy as you think. Yeah.
Hey there, this is Sarah with Shining Soul Healing and Wellness, and I am here with the Earth Ally Report with the Galactic Guidance team. And I have a really cool thing to share this week, and that is one of my favorite herbal allies, oregano oil. And we're going to quickly go over it and a few facts about it that are scientifically proven, and what I like to use it for. Just remember, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on television. And these are all just suggestions from an herbal perspective. Thank you. Check it out. I bet you'll like it. Let me know in the comments. Thanks. Hi friends, Sarah here with Shining Soul Healing and Wellness, and I am here today to talk to you about oregano. And we're going to make a little bit of oregano infused olive oil today. And so, hello and welcome. Let's see here, oregano oil. Most people know about oregano. They've heard of it. They've probably seasoned their Italian food with it, right? But actually, did you know that oregano has amazing antibacterial benefits? Really? Wow, right? Who knew? Yeah, sure enough. It actually has antiviral, antibacterial. Let me read a little bit from my notes right here, okay? Oregano oil possesses potent antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties, primarily due to its active compounds called carbachol and thymol, which both disrupt the bacterial cell membranes. I know that's kind of like mumbo jumbo, technical stuff. Basically, it's a very universally accepted and used antibiotic. It's an herbal antibiotic, basically. And hold on. Research indicates that it is effective against a wide range of pathogens, including E. coli, staph, listeria, and MRSA. I have some stories I'll share with you in a minute about that. And that is actually methicillin-resistant staph, which is, medical resistant staph usually found in hospitals. Anyway, it even shows effectiveness against multi-drug resistant MDR strains of the staph, which is really interesting. That's very tough to kill. Anyway, what does that mean? It means that if you're at home and you're not feeling good and you feel like you might be getting a nose cold or something like a sinus infection, go ahead and take a couple of capsules of oregano oil. You can usually find it at a health food store or a more natural based grocery store like Sprouts or something like that, or Natural Grocers, for example. And I am not sure, but I think Amazon may even have some that's fairly decent. But anyway, I have a couple different stories real quick to tell you. My sister's a nurse, and I was with her one day, and she had a nose cold, and she was just miserable. She had the headache, and she had the stuffiness, and she was like, a nose cold, right? And she was like, oh, miserable, and she's like, oh, I don't want to go take antibiotics. If I go to the doctor, they're going to give me antibiotics, and I don't want to do it, And I was like, well, why don't you try some oregano oil? And she was like, what? And I was like, oregano oil, it works really good. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. It's actually effective against gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria alike. So depending upon what type of bacteria it might be, more than likely it's going to get rid of it, right? And so she tried it, and lo and behold, she took, I think it was just one capsule, and she went to sleep, and then she woke up, and over half her symptoms were gone. Amazing, right? So, not that I am a doctor, or I can treat or diagnose any disease or illness, or I'm not saying this is going to do anything other than, hey, why not try something more natural first? And then, if that doesn't work, then go to an antibiotic. Because everybody knows that antibiotics are overprescribed. They're really hard on your body, and they're really hard on your gut. Your gut biome, So that's why I would be a strong promoter of this oregano oil that we're going to talk about and show you how to make today. Very interesting, right? And so, again, let's back up to the MRSA, okay? I have a friend who literally had MRSA on his body, and he was desperate, and he was about ready to go to the emergency room, and he doesn't have any insurance, And I was like, just try this real quick. And so I just put some Neosporin in my finger, my hand like this, and then I put some oregano oil drops into it, and then I mixed it, and I put it on, and then I told him to take some capsules of it, so I was attacking it from the inside and outside. And let me tell you, it all went away within a week. All gone. 100% MRSA. I'm telling you, oregano oil really does work. Anyway, so for antibacterial applications, okay, you can use, like I said, on your skin for topical. You can use it to treat skin infections, wounds, fungus issues like athlete's foot or nail fungus maybe. And then you just directly apply the diluted oil. So what I mean is oregano with olive oil, for example, to the affected area. Pretty simple. For digestive health, it might help you actually. There's been studies here that show, and I could cite the sources if you'd like. Anyway, it shows here that it actually might help to contribute getting rid of SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth also. So not only does it cure the common cold, Gets rid of MRSA. It gets rid of SIBO. Let's see here, what else? It can be combined with certain antibiotics like amoxicillin or fluoroquinolones to enhance their effectiveness against resistant bacteria such as extended spectrum B-lactamase producing entity E. coli. Long words. Basically stubborn E. coli, right? And then also here too, if we've been hearing a lot about biofilms in like the media, social media, in this day and age, right? And there's a lot of studies now showing that oregano oil mixed with, I think it's a black seed oil, together at certain doses can actually break up that biofilm that's in so many people's guts today, which is really cool. So there's a lot of different uses for olive oil, and I could go on and on about it. So I'm going to show how to make the actual oil itself right here. Okay, and I guess what you want to do is find oregano, the dried herb. Don't use fresh. I won't go into it now, but basically it increases the chances of like bacteria, unwanted bacteria, or like yucky mold and stuff growing on it. You don't want that. So you want extra virgin olive oil, a nice quality one, okay, and oregano, dried, okay, in a jar. So gather all that stuff and then watch the second part here to see how to make it. Basically, you make this stuff and then you can strain it and then put it into small dropper bottles, and that's where you can like put it into a balm, or you can put it into a capsule. And like, you buy the little empty capsules and then put a few drops in there, probably like 10 drops or something, and then close it up, make 2 of those. That's how you would take it. I'm telling you, this stuff really works. Check out the next part. Okay, here's the video, the part of the video where I can show you how to make an oregano infused olive oil. So what you do is you want to find a clean glass jar, preferably with no label so you can see, and a lid. And okay, and then you want to take the jar. Better show you. Take your herbs. In this case, we're using oregano. And you want to fill up your jars for as much as you'd like. Now, if you do like a blend, you just do the blend either beforehand in a bowl, and then put the herbs in, or you can mix them inside the jar and shake it up. It's up to you. But for this instance, we're just going to use plain oregano. Alright. So, there. Now, if you're doing this for professional uses, or if you're going to sell it, you'd want to measure this. You want to know exactly how much weight you have in herb. That way you could use the exact formulation with oil or menstruum, which could be alcohol or glycerin or something like that, right? So in this case, we're doing an infused oil. We're not a tincture or a glycerin, but okay. So we're just going to do the folk method. And so what you do with the folk method is you do 3 times the amount. 1, 2, 3. So you'd want to fill up your oil to here. So 1, 2. Actually, you could even go to here. That's a lot of oil. So I might just do double. So up to here. That way it's a little bit stronger. Alright, let me show you. Just pour it in. Whoops, there. You kind of know where you're going to. Okay, and I'm using olive oil. Olive oil is really nice. It's a very compatible oil with our body. There we go. Okay. Oh, shoot. Anyway, let me show you. One thing you want to remember is that you never do use a metal for when you're mixing herbs. So just take and you mix this up. Make sure you get all the air pockets out of it. and stir it up. There we go. That's good. And whenever you're doing a mixture, whether it be oil or alcohol or glycerin or honey or vinegar or whatever, you always want to make sure that you cover all the herbs, because if you, let's say you fill up your herbs here and you only put your oil to here, or your menstruum, alcohol, glycerin, whatever it might be, you're going to get those actually molded because they all need to be submerged. It's going to ruin your batch. So just a mental note and a side note, always make sure to cover all your herbs. So then what I would do now is, I'm out of it right now, but I would put a piece of parchment paper on here, and then I would put the lid on. But you don't want to put a lid on that's metal and have it touch your herbs. Same reason you don't want to use a metal spoon. Here, let me show you what I'll do. Let me push pause. Okay, I'm back. So I don't have parchment paper right now, so what I'm going to do is improvise with a little tiny sandwich bag. But basically it's just to keep the metal away from the herbs, from the medicine. So then, okay, what you'll do is, if you want to help it to infuse a little bit faster, you can always put it in your window, like in a windowsill, and let the light and the sunlight infuse into it. Or if you live in like a sunny place like I do, like Arizona, you could always make sure it's sealed for sure on top, really good. And then you can put it out in the sun. And then every day go out and shake it. Or every other day go shake it like this. Alright. So that should probably take, in low light or mid light situations, it should take about a month. In a very sunny spot or a summer situation, you want to do about 2 weeks. So, let's say in 2 weeks, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing this. Okay? And watch for part 2.
Hi, welcome to Cultivating Kindness with the Ascended Masters. So for this week, I would like to focus upon Mother Mary, and just wrote a little thing about how to focus on her and how to kind of concentrate our energies into the heart. So I invoke the Masters and the violet rays to allow the presence of Mother Mary to guide us to feel the power of prayer through kindness. As we allow her energy to transform our hearts, we feel her holy presence gifting us with the light. For this week, focus on Mother Mary's rays and allow her spirit to contact your heart. Her spirit will allow you to go into your deep place and feel the whole world allowing itself to transform into harmony. Her heart allows the peace of God to blossom into your beautiful next week. We all have our tribulations, and we know sorrow is here to leave. Right now, we know that everyone feels like the world has ended and into a new world, and I feel that Mary will guide us to show us that we are allowed to feel peace and kindness. I know that people are right. We are all here to be free of fear. I allow the peace of God to enter my heart, and when I feel loved, I allow all my relationships to feel balanced. When I allow harmony to enter, I feel the peace return me to myself, and I let all the good feelings come. When I detach, all my ancestors are here asking everyone to be blessed. Because I know that people are born to be a good reminder of the good in this world, I know, ask Mary to seal our hearts with the promise that I will never let anyone hurt me, and I will allow her joy to give me a good heart. I allow all my fears to leave, and I allow all my strength to be here. I know there is no time to waste, and I feel that power is allowed to be given when we are ready. I leave you with knowing you are perfect as an angel. So that's my piece on Mother Mary. I think that, she holds a lot of light and strength in this world with the sacred feminine. Also, you're a blessed, beautiful presence. I think that I see her as a great protector, even almost like an angel, just, constantly holding that energy for us. And, I feel that working with her energy, I feel a lot of just comfort and nurturing. So, I worked with the Ascended Masters channeling for several years. It's been quite a few years now. And I think that really it's very beautiful and a wonderful experience to be able to actually communicate with the Ascended Masters and a way that is just, very sacred to a person. And I feel they all offer something, like different gifts and things to share with us. And I feel that I feel very blessed and very honored to be able to be a part of that, and have teachings I have been sharing for years, but the real teachings have developed into a very deep school to take in the time it's taken to kind of allow spirit place a timing upon when it will all be evolved and developed. But to me, Mother Mary is a great blessed soul. I'm so grateful to be able to have a connection to Mother Mary. I feel that well, we are all here to just spend this week just asking in our heart to have that connection, ask for that blessing, ask if she might be of guidance for our current life situation. So you can reach me on Facebook. My Facebook is Shalea Rainstar. That's SHALALEA Rainstar, parentheses Amy Fox. Or you can reach me at my email, thepuritybegins@gmail.com. Thank you.
It's now time for our chakra of the week. Captain Christo here, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, your shamanic space holder, retreat host, as well as music artist and guide for your self-remembrance. So we're gonna get right into it. Our chakra of the week coming up is going to be the Anahata, the heart chakra. And this is located directly in the bottom center dip of your chest. That is the direct focal point, the bottom center dip of your chest. And the characteristics of the heart chakra is associated with the color green. It is also the frequency of 639 hertz when it comes to sound healing. And then the physical organs and physical parts of the body that it governs, it's going to be the well-being of the heart, the lungs, the chest, the arms and hands. Some of the key attributes and characteristics that this energy center brings into our human life is unconditional love. So it is the natural process of the fluidity of giving and receiving love, without judgment, without criticism, but unconditional. And due to the heart chakra being number 4 of the 7, it is the balancing point, it is the bridge between our lower nature, our animalistic earthly energies from our lower 3 chakras, then making its way into feeling emotional compassion and connection, bringing it into our higher 3 chakras, which bring us into our more heavenly, higher divine attributes of ourselves. And through that, we're able to develop compassion, where we're able to sense and feel for others as being a share of consciousness in this oneness stream. And empathy. Empathy is an amazing power that I feel like we mistranslate, and we believe that empathy is, I'm just going to take on this emotion, I'm just going to take on this issue energetically from you and then just carry it. When really empathy is about taking on the energy, but then also transmuting the energy. So that's a key step to remember as an empath, and shout out to my empaths out there, is to remember, don't only just take on the energy, but also release it, transmute it with your tools and your practices and your ways. so that you're not walking around swirling in people's thoughts, emotions, and negativity of the past. And then it's also where we access forgiveness, acceptance, balanced emotions, and gratitude. And then moving into identifying some blockages and overactivations for you. Whenever you feel like you're completely alone and separate from all life, that would be a symptom of having a blockage. When you're fearing intimacy and you reject others giving you love, talking to you in positivity, things of that nature. Blood pressure issues, lung and heart conditions. Whenever we struggle with opening up about our inner truth, holding on to grudges, trust issues, and possessiveness are all blockages. Overactivations, we have caregiving for others before ourselves. And this is those that are on overdrive, continuously driving themselves into the dirt to help others or to be there to save others while neglecting their own well-being and taking care of their own self. Poor boundaries on where we're giving our love. So this is when we have poor boundaries, giving our love to abusers, giving love to manipulators, and things that are taking our energy without reciprocating. So those are a few things to kind of journal out throughout the week, kind of sit with yourself, and if you experience any of those things come up, then what we're about to go over is some ways to help bring balance to those things if they end up arising this coming week or they are present currently for you. All right, so crystals you can use. We have rose quartz, emerald, moldavite, aventurine, aquamarine, rhodochrosite, malachite, jade, and fluorite. Foods and herbs, leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower and celery, basil, cilantro, thyme, and sage, then hibiscus, jasmine, rose, and moringa, which are all great to have in beautiful herbal teas. A few practices you can utilize. You can do yoga poses like Savasana, upward facing dog, and cat pose. You can do forgiveness work with journaling, having conscious conversations, and mental and energetic practices. And then you can also connect with animals and pets, practice Reiki and other energy healing. And then you can even have a little gratitude journal and write some gratitude in the times where you maybe feel out of gratitude, or to enhance and expand the heart even more. Now I'll leave you guys with an affirmation as we wrap up on the heart chakra, and then we'll move into our archetype or guide to connect with to assist for the heart chakra. And the affirmation goes like this: I am allowing myself to step back and receive love just as I give love. And I'll say that one more time. I'm allowing myself to step back and receive love just as I give love. All right, so that is the heart chakra. Now, let's go into our guide to help complement and help us bring balance to our heart chakra for this week, if you desire. And that is going to be Archangel Raphael of the Green Ray. So, Archangel Raphael is of course known as the divine healer of the Creator. He has appeared in the Torah. He has also been in the Book of Tobit and the Book of Enoch. The essential functions of Saint Raphael is to provide healing and comfort for those who are mentally, physically, emotionally sick, healing the spiritually ill, to provide guidance to all healers, doctors, pharmacists, and apothecaries. He also provides protection and healing to travelers and while you're on your travels. So along with that, Archangel Raphael is really helpful with helping you study and understand the science and the alchemy behind healing, the alchemy of transmutation. And with that, you're able to really sit and learn the in-depth details and the micro level of the roots behind the causes to illness, to disease, and to the imbalances that you're experiencing. So it's not just like a pharmaceutical where you just take it and then it dissolves away, and then you still have residual symptoms and things of that nature. When you sit with Raphael, spiritually and energetically, you're going to come into a deeper understanding of peeling back the layers, knowing the alchemy and science behind why this is occurring, so that through that conscious awareness, you're able to be empowered to know how to move in a different way moving forward and not continue to repeat the pattern that caused the illness or disease. So it also says too, to remember to connect to laughter and upliftment and joy in the mix of the healing process as well. And then also too, it's also a protection energy. So yes, the green ray is healing, but it is also protecting, because the more you are healed, the more you are naturally protected, because your energy field is fortified. So you can call on the emerald green ray of light with Archangel Raphael at any time to help assist you. And I will leave you guys with a prayer to help invoke Saint Raphael. Glorious Archangel, Saint Raphael, great Prince of Heaven, know for your gifts of wisdom, healing, and grace. You are a guide of those who travel by land or sea or air. You are the consoler of the afflicted and refuge of those who are suffering. I beg you, assist me in all my needs, in all the sufferings of life, because you are the medicine of God. I humbly pray for the healing of the many infirmities of my soul and the illnesses that afflict my body. I especially ask of you the favor of allowing myself to remember that I am whole with the temple of the Creator. All right, that will do it. Marcus Christolight, aka Captain Christo of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, and that will do it for my Chakra of the Week report. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week on the Galactic Guidance News Report. Please like, share, and comment. Thank you.
When they hear the sound, our presence is so much joy. Sound cannot endure. Holy is how we feel. Don't stray, keep it real. Yeah.
Pineal Gland, triple DMT. Activated my chakras. Sitting in a room full of zombies. Man, this is feeling awfully awkward. Meanwhile, I feel like Jesus in the flesh. Christ consciousness got me flowing through the times. Now I realize what's around me is being used for a silent robbery of the soul. There's no way I can let that go. They call me King Marco. One with the golden flow. In the go, it's the prophet and the pharaoh. Dripping gold from head to toe. Doing it for the love and the 513. Consciously lifting souls.